Many adults appear confident, responsible, and capable on the outside, but deep inside, they still feel like a scared or uncertain child. This feeling can be confusing, because logically, they know they are grown up. They may have a job, responsibilities, and adult relationships. Yet emotionally, something inside still feels small and fragile. This experience is more common than people realize, and it often begins in childhood. When children grow up in emotionally difficult environments, their development can become interrupted. Certain emotional needs may never be fully met. Children need safety, understanding, and consistent support. These experiences help them build a stable, emotional foundation. But when those needs are missing, part of the child may remain emotionally stuck, even while the body and life continue to grow. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as the inner child, the emotional part of us that formed during early life experiences. If that inner child experienced fear, rejection, or neglect, those feelings can quietly follow someone into adulthood. For example, an adult may feel extremely anxious about making mistakes. Deep down, it may trigger memories of childhood criticism. Another person may fear disappointing others, because they once learned that approval was conditional. Some adults feel unusually small during conflict. Even simple disagreements can make them feel powerless. This reaction often comes from childhood experiences, when expressing feelings may not have felt safe. Another common pattern is seeking constant reassurance. They may worry about whether others truly care about them. This fear often comes from early emotional insecurity. When love or attention felt unpredictable, some people also struggle with feeling not grown up enough. They doubt their ability to handle adult responsibilities. Even when they are actually doing quite well in life, the self-doubt still lingers. Others experience sudden emotional reactions that seem disproportionate. In these moments, it's often the inner child reacting, responding to something that feels familiar from the past. This doesn't mean a person is immature or weak. It means their emotional experiences shaped their nervous system. The brain remembers patterns from childhood, especially when those experiences involve strong emotions. As a result, certain situations in adulthood can reactivate those feelings, almost like the past briefly becomes present again. Another reason adults may feel like a child inside is emotional neglect. When feelings were ignored or dismissed growing up, children in those environments often learn to hide their emotions, or they may never learn how to process them properly. Later in life, those emotions can resurface unexpectedly because they were never fully understood or expressed. Some adults also carry a deep desire for approval. This longing often comes from childhood. When validation or encouragement was limited, others may feel a strong need to prove themselves, working extremely hard to feel worthy. But even success may not fully quiet the inner voice because the emotional wound was never addressed. Healing begins with recognizing that this inner child exists, not as a weakness, but as a part of your story. Instead of ignoring those feelings, people can learn to listen to them, to understand what that younger part needed. Self-compassion becomes an important step in this process, treating yourself with patience instead of criticism. Sometimes the inner child simply wants acknowledgement, to finally feel seen and understood. Healthy relationships can also help heal these experiences. Supportive people can provide the emotional safety once missing. Therapy is another powerful way to explore these feelings. It helps people reconnect with the parts of themselves that were ignored. Over time, adults can learn to reparent themselves, providing the support they didn't receive earlier in life. This might mean setting boundaries, practicing self-care, or allowing emotions to be expressed. Small steps that build emotional security. Gradually, the frightened inner child begins to feel safer, because the adult self is now offering protection and understanding. Feeling like a child inside doesn't mean you never grew up. It simply means a part of your emotional story still needs attention. And when that part is finally heard and cared for, people often discover a deeper sense of strength and wholeness.